Hi, my name's James Holtzclaw, and that's spelled Jamesholsclaw. My ghost story takes place in West Lafayette, Indiana, at the Pierce Cemetery. And we'll give you a little bit of brief history about the Pierce Cemetery. Nearby in Battleground, Indiana, the Battle of Tippecanoe was fought in 1811 between William Henry Harrison and Tecumseh and the Indians. And it is now known for two Revolutionary War soldiers to be buried there. And the gravestones are actually marked so you can see them. But my ghost story begins even before you walk into the cemetery. As you walk up to Pierce Cemetery, you just get this uneasy feeling as like something sad, something is just not right as you cross over the gate and actually pass into the cemetery. And it's actually, the temperature in the cemetery, it just feels like it's colder, and as you walk around there'll be a warmer spot, then all of a sudden you got goosebumps and you can't explain it at all. And basically, it's just, you know, as you're walking around too, there's also parts where you feel sad, you feel sorrow, you just feel like something's not right and something happened there. So basically, on 9/28/2011, we did our first real investigation with all our equipment at Pierce Cemetery. And as we got there and we split up into teams, and we just started investigating, I was over in the corner that we call Father Smith's graves because there's either a Catholic priest or some sort of priest buried in that corner. We don't know why. And basically, I'm sitting there with one of our other investigators, and we have our EVP running. And I'm asking questions like, are you from heaven? Are you from hell? Are you human? And everything like that. So as I'm asking, I ask the question, where are you from? And very faintly, in the distance, we hear, I'm from hell. But we didn't hear it right at that exact time. We heard it when we were doing our evidence review a few days later on our EVP. And soon after catching that EVP and doing all the evidence review and everything, I was intrigued to go out there again. So it's about a week and a half later, we get the team together, we head back out to Pierce Cemetery, and we set up our equipment, we do everything. And we break up into teams, just another investigator go over to what we deem Hell's Hole. And with doing that, I'm just walking around, kind of feeling the same feelings you feel, like sorrow, just the cold spots, not really much of anything. But, and then we were doing for probably about a half hour. And then we decided to take a break. And then one of my investigators, Justin, came up to me and said, I got this really good video. We gotta look at it. So we went over it, looked at it, and he was telling me what was going on during it and everything. And he showed me, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the video he caught. It actually scared me watching it then and there, when the first time I watched it. So then he told me he left a recorder there during break to see if he can catch anything else going on while everybody was out meeting in the parking lot and stuff like that. So, not knowing it at the time, during the break, we actually caught something. And for the review, when we were doing the evidence review, we caught what appeared to be the recorder moving on the log, or we assumed it would be that. So we tried to recreate everything that would happen in the video, trying to shake the branches, chalk it up to it being wind knocking it over and everything, but we couldn't. So that was one of our first real pieces of evidence that we caught for at Pierce Cemetery. Then shortly after that, it was not even more than 10 minutes. Justin was in a different part of the cemetery, what we call Father Smith's grave, and I was at the opposite end, what we call just the opposite end, what we call Victoria's grave. And we were walking around just trying to get some EVPs, trying to listen, and we hear him and his keys going off, so we had an incident with that. And not knowing at the time, again, because I was at a different part of the cemetery, that was going on until after the investigation, when he actually explained to me what happened, and I listened to the recording, and I thought that was pretty cool. Then we all packed up and left, and it was either the next day or the next couple days, I get a phone call from Justin, and he's very on edge, very uneasy, because he didn't know what was going on at the time or anything. He's like, I just don't feel right. I need to go back out to Pierce and do an investigation. So I was like, okay, I don't see what's the urge? We were just there. Why do you need to go out there right away and do it? And he didn't explain to me at the time that he felt like something followed him home. So later on that evening, I get a phone call saying, here's what's going on. I just feel like something's following me home. I just have the urge to go out there. I just feel like I need to go there for some reason that he doesn't know why. So he sets an audio recorder up, and he leaves his house and catches his EVP. And at the time, he told me about it and everything. I was like, yeah, sure, it's probably one of your roommates at home, you know, just walking around doing everything. But come to find out, he took his dog with him and nobody was home. So he brought the EVP over to me and I heard it and I was like, wow, are you sure there was nobody in your house? So after ruling all that out, we were able to just chalk it up to a paranormal incident. So I told him to say a prayer and to make sure that the apparition or the entity that has followed you or clinged to you is known that it's not allowed to be in your life, that it can't be there at all. And so it's basically he did a house cleansing, said a prayer, recorded it on everything,